I wish I would have joined earlier. Like you, cause you tried to get
You're
me in like a year ago, right?
you're
And I'm like,
joining at a good time.
nah.
You're
I
joining
feel
at a
like
good time. Today I have a good friend of mine named Rang who's going to be joining me. He just started playing Final Fantasy 14 probably a couple weeks ago now. At this point, he can talk to you more about that when he comes on. So we're going to be chatting about his experiences, answering any questions he has, and just shooting the shit. So all right, let's what's up, Rang?
Hey, can you
How's
hear
it
me?
going? Yeah.
It's going. There's a
What's
bunch of
up,
people
dude?
on you. There's some people twerking on you, dude.
In
Sorry.
game?
Yeah, in game. Well, now, how am I gonna know if like someone's twerking on you outside of game?
Here, let me I think I have a screen with the game. There's a shit ton of people on me.
There's a shit ton of people on you. Bliss is there too. She just send you some kisses.
Everyone's here, dude. All right.
Who's there? Okay.
How's it going? How's your day?
It's going. It's long day at work, or maybe not. I don't know. It's going.
It's
How
a
about you?
Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
It's Friday Eve. That's how I see it.
For sure. Yeah, it's always Thursdays are always like weird because it's like I'm waiting for Friday, but then I still have to wait for Friday to happen for me to enjoy the rest of my week because then it's finally the weekend.
Right.
And it's like I finally hit Sunday again, and then I'm regretting it, and I don't want to go. Anyways.
Yeah, right. Dude,
But
dude, this your Friday, like, what is it? Do you work a lot on Friday? Like, if it's in a percentage, what's your percent of work on Friday?
Oh, it kind of depends on how lazy I am in the week. Like if I procrastinate and kind of push things off, then Fridays are insane. Or
Fuck.
normally they're like trying to chill, and then it's like, oh, you're about to get off. Here's like all this other stuff you have to do.
Dude, for some fucking reason they like to do that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, those are the worst too. They're like, oh, I need this ASAP. I was like, dude, it's Friday. It's 4 p.m.
Yep.
man. Like, let me get the fuck out. But,
Yeah, I feel your pain.
Capitalist, right?
Hopefully our Friday tomorrow goes pretty quick.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna play Final Fantasy.
Duh.
But speaking of, how are you enjoying Final Fantasy 14? How's it been going?
It's been really good, dude.
Yeah.
So like I think I gotta put my background out a bit there. But I'm like, I don't play games as often as you, and this is my first time playing MMO. All the other games I'm like
first time ever
casual. First time ever
playing
ever
an MMORPG.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah. Well, no, technically not.
What other
there's some
MMOs
other
have
one
you played?
There's this one so I'm from like Laos, so it's like Southeast Asia. So there's a one that's called fuck, I forgot. That used to be my like the game that I look forward to, but it's like super Asian style, and there was a bow kind of player that you could play. Maybe it's called, I don't think it's called Gaikia, but it's something in Asia, MMORPG. But I didn't have like time, and I didn't invest the time and things into it, and I didn't play it right. You know, I was just like clicking buttons, and then I'm like, oh, I try to hang out with my friend.
So what do you normally play then if you're not playing MMOs?
I was playing Overwatch, and I tried to play like FPS game more. Because I really want to be like, oh, what is it now? I like that aiming and then getting to click headshot, and then you hear that like that ding sound, right? But dude, what is it? MMORPG games is so much better. The community is just so much better. It's night and day, dude.
You're luckily falling on the good side of an MMO, because some people might have the opposite experience if they play other MMOs.
What other
like
can we trash talk
like WoW? Like, I mean, I played WoW for when was 2000? How long ago was 2005? 16 years. So.
Yeah, that's long.
Yeah.
But is WoW experience like Overwatch experience? Like is it that bad?
I feel like the genres are a bit swaying in terms of the personality of the players you come in contact with, because like people who play FPS games are normally going to be much more competitive than people who play MMORPGs. It's just the reality of the genre.
You know what I wonder though, like, but sometimes when I ask people, they always say like, oh, I play casually. But every time they log in and they play FPS, they're always sweating. Right? Like, it's just like there's a guy that first you would lay back, right? And then you would sit back in the seat and you would just like be shooting and stuff. And then when some guy like shoot you out, like kill you for 3 times in a row, and then he start teabagging you, you change. Right? Like you get pissed and you start sweating.
No one wants to get teabagged. It sucks.
Unless there's a girl teabagging you. There's a cat girl teabagging you. That's
You've
one of the
well to playing Final Fantasy. So
that's one of the thing I have to adapt. It's just like say cat girls rather than saying girls.
There you go. So what would you say is the biggest like obstacle that you've ran into coming from an FPS background to playing MMOs? Like, what do you think was the hardest thing to learn, or even just interact with in general in the game?
At first it was just like I'm just lost. It felt overwhelming because I'm just like I have so many options and things I can do and all. Like, cause you were just telling me, oh yeah, you could do that, you could do this and stuff, right? And so it seems overwhelming, but my issue at first coming in was more on like the character part too. that's the issue too, where it's just like what's the character, or like what's the role I should play. That was my one of the biggest issue, and I don't want to go through all the guidelines. What class to job. Play. Yeah, cause usually I gravitate towards just like bow and arrow a lot.
Sure.
And then I don't know why, maybe playing like Overwatch, and I was just like, so I started playing tank a lot.
Play Hanzo?
That it makes me think. No,
since you're a big bow and arrow guy.
Sadly, like Hanzo is so hard to fucking play, dude. I'm just so bad at projectile. Yeah. When I started the game, I was so good at it, but then the more I practiced, like to be the hit scan, I just couldn't do bow and arrow anymore. That's so sad. But no, I start playing like tank a lot. So then that when I come into this game, I was just like, should I play tank? Cause I've been enjoying tank in Overwatch somehow. Or should I just stick with bow and arrow? And then yeah. So
you started with Bard.
I did. Yeah.
And you're playing a Viera, correct?
You gotta. So like, dude, I'm still Sprout, man.
You gotta say you're like playing a bunny girl.
Yes.
So what's up with the bunny girl? Why'd you pick a bunny girl?
Dude, have you seen bunny girls, man? They're like so much better. This is like controversial shit, but they're so much cuter, dude. Like you PG-13. Oh no, 18 plus. You see how big my boobs is? Like I could slap it in your face, dude.
Oh man. And then you also chose Bard, which you were saying you like bow and arrow.
I love bow and arrow.
How has Bard been? Has it been hard? Has it been easy? Has it been boring? Did you want to change roles? What's up with that?
Bliss is slapping my boobs right now. Sorry. Bard's been fun. I think Bard's gave me option to like grind easily, because I could fight high level and I could run away from them or stay really far away from them, so I don't get attacked. Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What's it called again? Like kiting?
Kiting, like a kite.
Oh, kiting. Yeah. Like I see higher level and I don't freak out as much. Cause recently I changed to I didn't fully change, but I just got bored a bit. But I'm playing tank right now, and I always freak out on like, oh, this enemy is hitting me and my health pool is like going down so fast.
Yeah. Have you started to learn how to like use mitigation? Plan out? Do you know what mitigation is?
No.
So
all I learned was just attack. Right?
So-
It's just like if it dies fast,
Sure.
that means I'm protecting myself, right?
So that's a good thing to discuss then, because the hopes is for this to be informative. So like, as a tank, you will have mitigation that you use, which is what basically even makes you a tank in the first place, outside of the extra armor you get.
Yeah, it's a cool looking armor that's making me a tank.
Hell yeah, and and you're playing a paladin, right? So you
Yeah.
got the shield too. You look sick, but you have abilities that literally mitigate damage for you. Which is supposed to make you less squishy, as people call it in this game, which that's probably a term used in Overwatch as well, but like
So-
Tracer would be like a squishy player,
Oh yeah.
or
Is
anything.
Bliss listening into this? Is that why she's like, dude, her armor is so cool looking. Sorry, I get distracted easily too. Dude, that sword, man. I'm back.
No,
My
you're
brain's
good.
back.
You're
My brain's
good.
back. But squishy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, I'm tanky and oh. You repeat the squishy.
So do you think that you like the ranged role in general, since you're
I love
like,
the range.
now that
role.
you've played
I really
ranged
love
and you've
Titan.
played tank, do you think that like tank is kind of something you don't really want to do, or do you think that is something you'd like to learn more about, but you're not quite sure?
I think I have to hit level like 50. So it's in the same spot where my bard is, right? But so far at this level where my bard was, I was actually enjoying it more than the tank at this level. So like I'm at level 35. At level 30, I was enjoying my bard a lot more because I was pressing a lot more buttons and get to run
Sure.
around and like spin around and stuff. There's been time when I play tank that I keep pressing like attack and I'm really far away from the enemy and I'm like, what is happening? Why am I not doing anything? And I'm like, oh, I forgot. I need to get in closer.
I have the opposite problem where
Okay.
I'm used to playing melee.
Mm-hmm.
So I go into raids, and my UCOB group can attest to this, that, well, I don't know if you know what UCOB is, but my UCOB group can basically attest
Sounds like
to,
corn.
I just will right click on the target on accident, or like hit an ability on my hotbar on accident, and then I pull the boss and everyone gets pissed, and then we have to wall or reset the boss, I should say. But
Jump off
good
the
times. Yeah.
cliff.
I have the opposite problem.
So you run in too close. Why is that though for you? Like
So as a melee, like if you right click the boss or you press a button on your hotbar while you're targeting something, you're not gonna just get aggro on it or pull it, right? Like you have to be in range of it to get threat on that target.
yeah.
So, but as a bard or a range class, you press an ability, it's gonna fire.
Yeah.
It's in range.
Dude,
So-
I have not been a tank that long, Tyci. I have not been a tank that long. And last night I was doing some leveling, and my fucking gun was like the gun breaker or the people that use that gun. They keep shooting before I run in, dude, and they keep pulling to
Machinist.
them. Machinist, yeah. And I'm like, stop fucking doing that, man. Like, I can't help you. You know, we were so close on dying so much, and I'm like,
So
dude, I haven't played tank that much.
was that in a dungeon, like a leveling dungeon, or something?
It was a leveling, yeah, and I don't know.
So, did you like tanking leveling roulettes? Like, how was that? Was that like an eye-opening experience where people are just trying to like, hey, bro, let's hurry up. I know you don't know what you're doing, but let's get the hell out of here.
So surprisingly, I've I should not be on this fucking game. I saw a fucking order that's called Jake Gyllenhaal. Someone just say Jake. Okay. I surprisingly, I think I got into like a good, nice team of people that didn't push me too much, as in like, oh, we gotta go much faster.
Sure.
When I was playing Bard, there was a tank that was just like, okay, I'm pulling like 500
whole
enemies.
dungeon,
Yeah, the whole dungeon, and you better be ready. And that's the part that was the rush part, and I think tank really control the pace of the game. That's
That
how I felt.
that's exactly it. I mean,
Oh,
that's the same thing in most MMOs. They control the pacing of most fights regarding dungeons specifically.
uh-huh.
Because I used to do like Mythic Plus dungeons in World of Warcraft, and tanks literally set the tone of the dungeon and the pacing of the dungeon. So I mean, you hit it on the head. So if you ever
That's
are
crazy.
tanking like a leveling roulette or some random dungeon, if people start pulling for you, it's their way
What's
of
that mean?
saying, or they start like running ahead of you and
Uh,
grabbing extra ads and stuff.
mm-hmm.
It's kind of them saying like, hey, like let's get this going a little bit more.
Mm,
Because something that's very common in Final Fantasy is you'll start a dungeon specifically. You'll start a
mm-hmm.
dungeon, and you'll have like 4 trash packs, and then
What's that?
you'll have 4 groups of ads that you have to clear through, and then you'll get to a boss, and then you'll have
Uh-huh.
like 4 more groups of ads to get through, and then you'll get to a
By
boss. Have you
ads, what's ad?
extra? They're like random mobs, like random little things you have to kill, right?
Yeah, but it's
Um,
not. It's different from like objective, right? Like,
yeah, they call it trash. Usually they call it trash because it's literally just there as filler.
yeah.
Like all the
So,
extra things that you have to kill before you get to a boss.
it,
They call it
is
trash.
there a rule of thumb to not kill much trash, or do you kill trash? Like that's one thing that pops up
So
with me a lot too.
so the earlier A Realm Reborn dungeons, and I don't really know when they started making this transition. I think it might have been around like Stormblood, maybe Heaven's Word, but so the earlier expansion dungeons, you would be able to skip trash, like some of the trash, before
Yeah,
getting to bosses.
yeah.
And I'm not sure how far you are in the story, and we can kind of talk about that later, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll notice once you get to like, I'm pretty sure like Stormblood, Shadowbringers area, the dungeons start turning into more of a literal like path that you follow, and you can't
Yeah.
really deviate off that path, and you pull literally all the
Every
all the
trash.
packs of trash together, and you just nuke them all down, and then you do a boss, and then you pull all the other trash, and then you do the next boss, and then like, so you just keep doing them in sections. Whereas like I was saying, the older ones you could kind of like maneuver your way through
Yeah,
and kind
yeah,
of leave some to the side and not worry about them. And
yeah.
so
Yeah, that's what I've been doing more. But I also, so I go into like these dungeon because I'm trying to like level up,
mm-hmm.
right? And that seems like the raiding part, going into dungeons seems to be like the best way to level up. In my brain, I want to fight all the trash because it gives me like pretty good XP. So is there a rule of thumb that I should have to, like, I have to do, as in like you can't pull all the trash as a tank, right? I don't know what to do, but is there a rule
Yeah,
of thumb where I should not pull out the trash, or I do whatever I want, since I'm the one that set the pace technically?
yeah, I wouldn't really worry too much about like at lower level dungeons specifically. I wouldn't worry too much about getting like everything. If you're talking about getting aggro on them, that's a bit different. Um, but if you're
But
talking about just like running your group through to the next boss, I wouldn't really worry about stuff that's like out of the path that you're trying to go. Like that extra little bit of XP that you get or experience that you get is not going to be super important for you leveling up.
oh, it's not.
No.
Oh,
I mean, it'll give you XP,
uh-huh.
right? But
What
like,
what's the, that's my big question now. It's just like, what's the best way to get XP then?
it's kind of a tough question for me, mainly
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a boosty boy.
You're the whale.
Yeah, I'm a whale. So, at low levels, what I've heard, I don't know how accurate this is, but things like Palace of the Dead, very good.
Is that the
Um,
one with like 5 billion cutscene?
No, that is Praetorium and Castrum, which are dungeons. Yeah, I think they're part of the main scenario. They're at the
Yeah.
end of A Realm Reborn.
Yes.
Those are part of the main scenario quest roulette. If you queue for that, that actually gives a ton of XP. If you queue for the roulette, but I think you have to be level 50 for that, so you can't level anything under 50 in there, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. I'm stuck with. Yeah, I can't
But
do that.
anything sub 50, I think, is relatively easy to level, like you're saying, through dungeons or through fates, which I don't know if I would really want to grind fates. That can get really boring.
It got so boring. At first, I tried. I was grinding fates actually,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, man, it's so much more work into it, and you
Sure.
don't get much return as much as the dungeon stuff.
Yeah, I think dungeons are probably. I mean, especially if you're a tank, and you can just instant queue pretty much for them. Like,
It felt like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, just do it.
I was thinking of going healer, like when it hits 50 for this one, and go healer before I go back to Bard and doing main quests. But I'm so scared of healer being boring.
So,
Any advice? So like, who should I do if I go to the healing?
so something you need to know about all the classes in general.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally any class that you pick up to play at all.
Yeah.
If you take them into a dungeon, that is going to be different than taking them into a trial, or
Okay.
which I'm sure you've done a trial by this point.
Which one's that trial?
That's like it's like 8-player, like one boss. Like you just get thrown into a ring and you're fighting a boss. I don't want to say any names in case I spoil anything for people.
That's that one guy that I died at, right? The one that you like you can't.
That's
you
a
shouldn't
trial.
Die there.
Yes.
That's the trial. Okay.
That's a trial. So that so again, so like the classes are going to play differently whether they're in a dungeon or a trial or a raid or a 24-man alliance. Like they're all going to play differently.
Yeah.
So picking up a healer, or let's say a tank, for example, because you picked up paladin, right?
Yeah.
Playing a tank or paladin in a dungeon is going to be a lot different than playing a paladin in a raid. So I guess the best way to kind of figure out what is more of your niche and what you enjoy more is kind of by exposing yourself more to the same classes in the same role that you're interested in. If that makes sense.
Class?
So
like as in other
you,
ones, but
if you are curious about tanking, and you try paladin, and you're like, paladin's okay, but I don't really know how I feel about tanking still.
Yeah.
Then you might pick up like warrior, or when you get to it, you can go pick up Dark Knight or Gunbreaker. Those are other tanks. So I'm talking about like trying other things in the same role. Like for Bard, that would be Dancer and Machinist, which I don't know when you get access to those, if I'm being honest. I don't know like when that happens, but
I'm fearful that I would love dancing so much.
Why are you scared about that? What's wrong with that?
I think I might have seen people like talk shit on it, or like saw something real quick that people is just like, why the fuck are you dancing when you can like shoot some guns or have some big ass sword, you know? And this like you're like sweating the fucking thing trying to kill that Twister guy, right? That you caught. And then like there's this guy in the background that's just like, oh, look at me fucking dabbing, do some Fortnite dance and stuff in the back. I'm just like,
so
it seems fun though. I enjoy it.
I feel what you're saying, because I'm a big like class fantasy kind of person. I enjoy playing classes because of their aesthetic or what they look like. But as I play the game at a higher and higher level, you sometimes don't have those opportunities. You sometimes just have to play whatever's good, or the best, I should say. Because all the classes in this game are good. There's definitely not a single class in this game that's like not viable to clear content. But if you're trying to play at the highest level, you're going to play whatever's best. So sometimes you kind of have to fall out of playing what is your favorite class fantasy or whatever. So
yeah. So you kind of saying unless I'm really high level, I shouldn't worry about job or class system.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
Just play whatever the hell you want. It's
okay.
Try them all out.
I might.
'Cause-
That helps me a lot because I'm just like, where's the part that I have to start and care about what job I'm doing? Because at first before I start this whole like MMO, before I start final, I was just like, okay, I thought the class matters so much, and after I played Bard for a couple level in, I'm like, oh, okay, it's pretty good, it's pretty balanced. So when's the part that I have to really get scared of classes and stuff?
Yeah.
So that's nice to know that you clear that part off for me.
And they make it really nice as well with being able to like quickly swap between different jobs in the game and try different things out. So they present a good opportunity for people to try other things out and learn the different aspects of the game.
I wonder if my fear comes, as crazy as it sounds. I'm very thankful for like meeting with y'all, right, in like the high level and stuff.
Sure.
But I wonder if my fearful comes from just seeing how you guys might talk of like, okay, when we pull that guy, you can't really use Bard yet because Bard's like really low on DPS right now, even though it's a viable thing overall. But like,
it's kind of that's kind of a problem in general with having a lot of information about the competitive scene, is like everyone in any game will tell you like, this is the best, this is the best, this is like, and let's take Final Fantasy 14 for example. Like there is a meta or a specific class, group of classes that you should pick for speed rating in this game. Or there's a specific type of class choice that you would pick for an ultimate in this game. For progression. And like that information becomes readily available with sources like the balance, which we can talk about later if you need more information on that. But sources like the balance and obviously Google, like the internet in general. And things tend to get exaggerated very quickly about Bard not being good or Red Mage not be like, I'm throwing things out, Warrior not being good, etc. Like, when in reality, people say that because they're talking about a specific situation in Final Fantasy 14, or they literally just don't know what they're talking about.
That makes sense, because like when I read those comments or hear something about it, I'm like, it makes me enjoy Bard less. But I love playing Bard, but in the back of my mind there's that thought process of like, this is not gonna be viable at high level. What if I want to play high level, but that's just some experience on the side. But Bard's fun. Bard's nice.
I love Bard, dude. I'm a ninja main. Been playing Bard in UCOB. Which for those that don't know, UCOB is an ultimate raid, which is like the hardest level progression raid in the game. And it scales you to like what that raid was when it first released at the time. But no, I've been having a blast playing Bard. It's fun as hell. Like I have so much fun. It's very engaging. I'm not sure how engaging it is at a low level, but that's pretty much
It's
all the classes at a low level. It's like you got 4 buttons and you got a couple other buttons you can hit while your global cooldown's spinning.
that's one thing I'm scared too, though. I'm like, these buttons, like 5 or 6 buttons, it's
Mm,
already hard for me at this level. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be more. I ran out that hotbar. The hotbar issue is like, it seems like a steep curve for me for playing MMO too. But it's just, what is it? I might skip around too much. But like knowing what to knowing how to manage hotbar has been hard for me. And then with more skill coming in, I'm just like, wow, there's more skill. Like I
mm.
have to find more hot bars for this thing, like to
Finding more
press.
buttons to put the
Yeah,
buttons on. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, wait. I'm enjoying this. I know it should be harder and stuff, but I'm like, no more, please. But then
Yes.
more coming and stuff.
I'd
I need to
say
start using my
minimum.
mouse.
I'd say minimum, like in terms of hotbars, you want 3 main hotbars, right?
Okay. So like the rolls, you mean? Is
Mm-hmm.
that what, like,
Yeah,
okay?
so you want like 3 at least to put all of your junk on. You can organize it however you want, whatever makes sense in your brain. Everybody's brain's differently. You can put them on whatever keybinds you want. Whatever, again, makes sense in your brain, because everyone has a different method of how they do it.
I wondered, dude. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Cutting you off. I wonder if someone tried out F4 before for their
Oh,
hotkey.
I'm sure that someone has, like, I have F4 bound.
I have F4 bound too.
I have F4 bound. It's my sprint. It's not something that I like have to panic hit or anything, you know.
I have it for my
but it's definitely something
my
I've
Larry.
thought of like, what if I go to Alt Tab, but I've like realized I need to sprint in that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right?
like, you should just organize your hotbar however you want. It's a daunting task. There's definitely things that can help you, and there's definitely things you want to avoid. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's comfortable for you and what's going to allow you to be consistent.
Do you have things that like should be avoided beside that Alt F4 thing?
So I would avoid anything past, unless you're using an MMO mouse, which I don't use, but I'd avoid using anything past, like, I'm looking at my keyboard right now, like 5. So like 5 is like the farthest I would reach a keybind. And then like 5, so imagine drawing a line down your keyboard, right? Like from the top, I'd have like F4, 5, T, G, and V for Victor. Like if you drew that line, that would be like your barricade. Like, don't keybind anything to the right of those keys, because in reality, if you're hitting shit on that side of your keyboard, you're reaching, like you're overextending your fingers, and then you can kind of like trip up when you have to get back to using WASD or hitting your other buttons. At least that's what I do. And again, everybody has their own methodology, but that's my like general rule of thumb for handling things. So with that, you have to be creative, because again, I don't use an MMO mouse, so I don't have like the 12 buttons freely available on my thumb, as well as the buttons on my keyboard. But so you have to get creative, and like you use 1 through 5, and then you have like shift 1, shift 2, shift 3, shift 4, shift 5.
You use shift? That's one thing.
So yeah, like I have shift 1 through 4. I don't have shift 5 bound, but
that makes sense.
I have shift 1 through 4, or like I unbound my strafe key on Q and E, and I rebound them to A and D, so it plays more like an FPS game, right?
Like Overwatch.
So then my Q and E are now free, so now I can bind abilities to Q and E.
Yo,
And then,
should I put limit break on Q like Overwatch, so it's
So it's your ultimate.
so it's my ultimate.
I think Q could probably be used for better button or better abilities, but you do your own
Oh,
things. So.
I haven't get to use limit break yet, but I think I don't have to. That's too far of a
I
scope. I
need
don't need to.
you to tell me
Oh, I
your
play tank. I don't have limit
I
break.
need you to tell me your experience when you finally get to use the Bard Limit Break 3 because it's
Do
amazing.
people get mad though? Like,
People will get mad if you Bard LV3 probably. However, you're a Sprout and they'll forgive you. So take advantage of
well,
that
can I
and
just go with
send
you
it.
guys at that part? Like, see how pissed you guys would be.
Oh, I wouldn't be mad.
Other people might. Like, man, what the fuck are you doing? It's just like, oh, Tyci told me, man.
No, you should send it. You should just like go into a trial, Bard LB3. It's beautiful.
I need to see that. But that's like level 80, right? Or like it don't
I
matter.
don't know when. I think it's just dependent upon your group size and like
Mhm.
the type of content you're doing, but I could be wrong.
Mhm. So back on the hotbar key thing. So you use control, you use shift.
I don't use control.
You don't use control. Oh.
No, control is
How
my push to mute or toggle mute
how do
in
you press your shift? You
with
press
my
with your
pinky.
pinky?
Yeah.
Oh.
So like
Dude,
my ring finger like rests on A, and like my index finger rests on D or whatever button I'm hitting, and
yeah.
my pinky rests on shift. That's just like how I learned to
Oh.
play.
So
Well, I mean, in Overwatch, shift is like a regular. It's an ability, right? Like it's dash for Genji, and like
yeah.
it's been so long since I played Overwatch, but
Yeah.
shift is
But
a
like
binding.
with my hotkeys, so I'm so new to it. I have like my pinky is at 1, and then my ring is at 2, and then it goes
Oh,
down like that. And then when I were to use another hotbar, I put a control. Like I use control 1, control 2, right? The way I press that, I use my palm, like the corner of my palm, to press the control, and that's how I use control.
oh
I'm not
man.
sure if that's bad or not. It's messy, man, but it works.
If it
It's
look,
if
look, if it
it have caused issue a couple of times, but that's what I do.
if it works, do it. But there are
I'm
definitely
scared.
better ways to approach that.
Hey,
Although I
at
can't
least
really
no.
talk. I can't really talk because I don't actually. Bard doesn't have a 1, 2, 3, but Paladin does, right? You have like you press one
Yeah,
ability and then the
you go
next one
to
lights up, and you press
yeah.
that one and the next one lights up. So like everyone that I've met puts those abilities literally on 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, that's what I do.
and I'm weird. And I put them backwards. So I do like 3, 2, 1.
What's wrong with you, dude? How does that work?
It's
So you
just
spam 3 all the time?
yeah,
Like,
3. Well, and that my reasoning was like 3 is more comfortable for me to just spam. Like
uh,
that's just more comfortable. So like my what is it, like heavy shot or something? Your like main bard.
Riot. Oh, I don't even remember.
It's like your main bard attack that does like a lot of damage, whatever. But the one that you're spamming all the time, that ability is on 3
Oh yeah, heavy
for me.
shot.
Yeah, that
Oh,
ability is on 3 for me.
I'm on 1.
So
I mean,
3 is just what's comfortable for me to spam. So
yeah.
but yeah, I think it'd be good, especially while you're new, to like form good key binding habits.
That's one thing. Yeah, that's why I'm like,
It may
but when
weird, but
it feels super weird. Because with Overwatch, right, my hand would rest at like WASD. So the shift button feels still natural. But then with me, if I were to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like 4, 5, the 5 part with shift, it's like kind of odd.
yeah,
to me.
I don't really do shift 5. I did shift 5 in WoW, but it was for an ability that I like never had to press, like ever. So, but I don't have shift 5 pound in this game. But I would try to get used to like keeping it similar to Overwatch, you know, keeping your fingers on WASD is a good thing to have, because being able to move while you're doing your rotation is a good skill to have.
Maybe I gotta change.
It's just completely redo your UI.
It works. I got to level 50. I died a couple of times. Maybe I died on that raid because of that. Like,
you never know, man.
Like the one I shouldn't died on.
So do you have problems, like, I guess this is kind of a related question, but not really. Do you have problems with like pressing your abilities and, you know,
I end up
hitting a target or something? Is that something you struggle with, or is that something that's kind of came easily?
So hard. No. That's one thing I still struggle to this day. I was gonna bring that up. I forgot to write it. Maybe like the way I navigate to like kill mobs or enemy, right? Is that mob is enemy, right? Is that
that's the same thing? Yeah.
Okay. Like to navigate to kill mob is like press tab. Like I have to scroll through the tab to get to the enemy that I want. Because I can't. So, there's a bunch of time I couldn't find my mouse first.
Oh yeah.
And secondly, I'm like, I could see my mouse, but it might be too late than me like spamming tab and I get to like the spot. So what should I do?
So I would try to avoid using tab as much as possible in this game, because it's fucking horrendous. However, that comes with an asterisk on it, because tab is really useful when you just have like 1 to 2, maybe even like 1 to 4 targets in front of you. It really starts to struggle when you have like 1 to 8 or even 1 to 4 targets. It still struggles if they're spread like really far away from you in a straight line, or like a cone in front of you, if that makes sense.
I would agree.
Like
I would agree.
It seems like it doesn't know, like, hey, I'm trying to tab this thing that's like right in front of me. Why are you targeting something that's way the hell back there? There is a setting, and I can help you. I think it's under character configuration. That changes like how it prioritizes the tab targeting.
Okay.
But it's just try to click on them, like.
So I should be clicking. I shouldn't be like
see,
my keyboard.
I want to tell you to tab target, because tab targeting is really convenient. It's really quick. It's the same methodology that I use in WoW. Like I tab target 90% of the time, unless I'm like trying to specifically target one thing. But like, I guess the best advice would be tab target for when you know there's not something 500 feet behind the thing you're trying to target.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's always those.
It happens all the time, especially in the game world, right?
How do you... So what make you change from WoW to this one? Like, because WoW you said just now, you said you use tab a lot. But in Final, you just told me, like, don't use tab. Unless it's like
just the way the game... You're talking about why tab in WoW and why not tab in Final Fantasy, or
yeah, kind of. And then
it's because just the way that Final Fantasy like prioritizes the target that it selects when you press tab.
Yeah, is WoW just like the closest target?
WoW and maybe I'm just used to WoW. Like, I don't know, maybe that because I've played it for so long. But it's like it knows, because it feels like it bases it off of like, I am pointed at this thing, select the closest thing to me, and if I press it again, select the thing that's like right behind it, like directly behind it or like slightly to the left or right. And it
Rather
like
than some random
it's much
number.
more accurate, whereas like Final feels a lot more random in its tab
Mhm.
targeting.
What do you do? So you use mouse?
I don't really
Like
have to
just
worry about it
the
much,
left click.
honestly, because
How?
most of the content I do is raiding. And
Uh,
then like if you're in a dungeon, we're we're back on Final Fantasy 14, right?
yeah.
So like
Yeah,
if you're in a dungeon, you're playing Bard,
Uh-huh.
you just press your AoE ability. Like
True.
who the fuck cares what you're targeting?
How do you
Like
do for like healer though? That's why I didn't
that's more
start playing
difficult.
healer too.
So
Yeah.
one of the reasons I don't heal in this game and try to avoid healing at all possible situations is I don't really like the interface of the party list.
Mm.
So what you would end up doing is kind of putting your party list somewhere kind of closer to your character, so you kind of frame your character with like your party list and your hotbar, if that makes sense.
Not fully. As
Basically
in,
you kind of your party list on default is going to be like all the way at the top left, like shoved in the corner where you don't really see
like
it.
top left.
So
Yeah,
you would want
right
to
under main quest stuff,
yeah,
right?
you kind of want to
Okay.
pull it in a little closer so that it's more readily available and you can see it easier.
Mm-hmm.
And
Also, you
then
click on those.
so yeah, you'll
tab.
click on the people that need healing, and then you would cast the healing ability on them. I honestly think you should try it to see if it's something you enjoy.
Yeah. So when
but-
you said click, when using click instead, right? Does that, are you referring to like click on the actual enemy
Yep.
on the screen, or
Yep,
am I
on the
clicking on
screen.
the sidebar?
On the
Okay, on the
screen.
screen. Okay. But then for healer, it's just like click on the side,
Correct.
the one
yeah.
with the name. Oh, okay.
But you'll also so healing once you start getting more comfortable. Like when you first start out, you can kind of just focus on keeping your group alive, and that'll be fine. But when you get
There's
later
more?
into the game, people are gonna want you to start doing damage
Dude,
and healing.
but you're a healer, man.
So, well, there's the running joke of everyone calling them green DPS. And if you ask any like really high-end tank player about how they feel about healers, they will tell you that they're not healers because they don't heal.
Okay. Is that a good thing or is that a bad?
It's a meme.
Okay.
Because what ends up happening when you're trying to like hyper optimize for like speed clears and stuff is you're trying to squeeze out as much damage as possible. So in doing so, the healers are sacrificing time that they could spend healing to do damage. So they're healing like as little as possible.
Yeah. But in,
so
like,
sometimes people die because oops.
Hey man, that's the tank issue. Why does he gotta get hit by the mob, you know?
And not get healed and yeah. But so starting out,
just
like,
run away, forehead.
just press mitigation, you'll be fine.
Just press medication.
But so starting out, like the best thing you could do is pick up like, I don't know, white mage, which I think starts as a conjurer.
Well, yeah.
Well,
so white mage is the most basic one. Like, is that what?
Well,
like, the
I said white
sensing?
mage because I think it well, I guess you could pick up scholar as well. Both of them start at level 1.
Are those the one with the card, the scholar?
So that's astrologian.
Oh, okay. I'll look at.
The reason I didn't say astro is because I don't think you can get astro until Heaven's Ward. I think you need to finish A Realm Reborn and the post-patch content, and then once you get into Heaven's Ward, you can go unlock astro. But I would go pick up like one of those.
What's the one that could summon things?
That's a summoner.
That's not part of the healer?
It is.
It
is and isn't. So summoner is its own class.
Well, fuck summoner.
It's its own class, right?
I don't even see it on
DPS. Well, it's probably under Arcanist, I think is what it's called.
Oh, okay, okay,
You
okay.
see it?
Yeah, I see.
So summoner is its own class, but
Uh-huh.
until basically summoner and scholar both start out as an arcanist. And then
Okay.
you'll hit a point in the class or the job quest line
Mm-hmm.
where you will learn to become a summoner and you will learn to become a scholar, and those are
Mm-hmm.
separate. So
Mm-hmm.
while you level summoner, you're simultaneously leveling scholar.
Oh, for
Or
real?
while you're leveling scholar, you're simultaneously leveling summoner.
Oh, that's
They
nice.
share levels.
Oh, that's
So that,
nice.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's actually something you could do. So let's say you go pick up scholar just because you want to try healing, right?
Okay.
And you go into some dungeons, just focus on healing.
Uh-huh.
Don't do damage until you're
Uh-huh.
comfortable enough to where you're like, okay, I can keep these people alive. I kind of see how this is working out.
Yeah.
I'll try to start doing some damage here. And then you'll keep playing around, and then like someone's gonna die, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that was too much.
Okay.
Like I should probably heal here, right?
Mm.
So that's kind of where you want to be for dungeon things, and just kind of how you want to approach it if you do
Uh-huh.
want to give it a chance.
Do you know if I get level scholar up to level 50, and if I pick up Arcanist, would I get level 50, or do I like, is that how it balanced that way?
So I think it's like level. I know Travi was doing this recently.
Uh-huh.
My friend Travi, and he picked up Arcanist. He got Summoner at like 20 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did the job quest for it, and then he also had Scholar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that answers your question.
Not really.
Okay, what?
Cause if the scholar is level 50, right, and then I go start the
But you
Arcanist.
should have. Well, you would start Scholar as an Arcanist. The thing that makes it a
Oh.
Scholar is your job crystal,
Oh.
which you get from doing your job quest,
Mm-hmm.
which you would unlock at like level 20 or 30, somewhere in there,
Mm.
if that makes sense. So you'll be an
Yeah.
Arcanist, and then at some point you'll get a job quest to go become a Summoner, and then that job quest will give you your job crystal to be a Summoner. So if you take that job crystal out, you'll be an Arcanist. And if you put the Scholar one in while you're on an Arcanist, you'll become a Scholar, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bliss was saying so here, like scholar and summoner level at the same time.
Yeah.
All you have to do is switch weapon and do that job quest. Okay, that makes sense. As in, like, yeah, that it's a Arcanist base, and then okay.
It like trees up to Summoner and Scholar.
But the base of it, it's like, to me as a bard, it's just the base of
the
it.
Base of it is the archer. Yeah, so the base of Summoner and Scholar is an Arcanist.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Have we cracked a cold one with the boys yet today?
I don't even have a cold one with me.
Come on.
You want to crack one?
Is that, can we still do that? Is that like
I can crack one. I'll go get one right now.
Please.
Let me go get one real quick. I don't have a beer though. Unfortunately.
I'm like, I have is well, you didn't even wait, dude. I thought we were gonna crack it together, man.
Oh.
Satch.
Oh, what the hell was that?
It's soy milk, cause I can't drink milk. Lactose intolerance, baby.
You go crack open a can of green beans.
Making casserole later.
So, what other stuff have you come across that has kind of stumped you, or made you go, what the hell is that?
Well, can I ask like some dumb question?
Yeah, that's why we're here.
You think I could find my character in real life? Like the
Look,
a person that could look.
if you find a way, let me know. I know Elon Musk is working on getting us cat girls.
No shit.
I don't know how far along that is. He said that like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a struggle bus, man.
Someone's slapping me. Oh, but it'd be cool to see us in like we on our back end here just creating some random things, and then you see that person in real life, and you're like, oh wow, you're the character that I created. So it's like it's not like I created it,
Isn't
right?
that
It's
what
just like
having a child is like? Oh wow, I had a child. I made that thing with no character customization. I played hard mode.
Yeah.
Hit the randomizer.
Hopefully they don't get debuffed getting born. You got debuffed being born in a poor family, dude.
The story of my life.
Sad.
Yep. So how have you have you been comfortable with like the stat stuff that's kind of been on your screen, or like your item level stuff, or
No. I still don't know what stats does. I know you told me for Bard it's just like I just look at dexterity, and that's all I gotta focus on. I'm guessing Paladin is just strengths, right?
Yeah.
This attributes goes well with like jobs. By that I mean like if I was gonna do DPS, I'm just gonna range DPS. I'm just gonna do dexterity,
So
and
it's
then if I were
not
to do
dependent
magic, it's like
on
intelligent.
role.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Although I think casters are not included in that. It's more dependent on what class you pick. For example, like I play melee, so I play all the melee. But I play ninja. Ninja uses dexterity. But if I play samurai, samurai uses strength. So even though they're the same role, they
The difference too.
They both, yeah.
Making me think of that meme, like same but different. So how do I know? Is it more Google or like ask you guys, or just
honestly the best way to look at it would just be you could just search on Google, or you can ask. A general rule of thumb is like if it casts magic, probably gonna be God, what do they call it in this game? I keep wanting to call it intellect.
But it's intelligence, right? And mind.
Mind, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Oh, what's intelligence for?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me look in the game now. It's intelligence and mind. So yeah, you want intelligence. You want intelligence. That's gonna be like your damage, and mind is gonna be, I think, for healing or something. I don't play casters. Look, I played caster and WoW. That's just for the birds.
I don't get that reference.
It's a saying.
WoW. Sorry. But I could say for the horde, right? That's the only thing I gotta learn, right?
For the horn.
For the horde, not for the horn.
What?
For the horde, like what's Sylvania?
Oh, for the horde.
For the horde, yeah. Like that's all I gotta learn, right?
You said something else, dude.
I don't know what other things.
Just don't worry about it.
Okay,
you're fine.
I'm not from here, so I can't. That's throwing that out just in case I say something dumb.
No, you're fine.
So when does critical hit or direct hit comes into play? If dexterity is just like more, is that more important, or is always
dexterity is definitely going to be like your number one. Well, your king to guiding you through gear.
Yeah, for Bard right now.
In general, is going to be item level.
Okay.
That's your king, like that. At least at low levels, like you're like, oh, I have these 2 pieces of gear. this one's item level 15, this one's item level 20, you go with the 20.
Even though like dexterity is much lower or something, go with level.
Generally, it should have a higher dexterity value.
Yeah.
If it's equipable by your class. Because they kind of sort things in this game to where it's like, you know, only ninjas can wear this piece, or only samurai and monk can wear this piece. So like they will be limited to what they put on that piece of gear. They wouldn't put like intelligence on a melee item.
So this not fully off track, but on more like items, right? Because items give us all these strengths and attribute things. So when I grind dungeons, I get like high level some other roles that I would probably play in the future, but not right now. Should I keep those gears, or more of like the questions here is just like what gear should I keep and what gear should I sell it out?
So gear wise, I would keep pretty much whatever you're using. I don't know if have you unlocked gear templates yet, like where you can make sets, I guess you can call them.
I think I could do
like gear sets.
Yeah, like it say like create a new gear set. Yeah.
So when you create a gear set in the game, create like one for each class that you have. And as you create them, click the little like recommended gear or whatever button, the little blue dude. Yeah. Click that, equip what it tells you. This is as you're leveling, as a general statement. Click that, equip what it says, and then save that gear set. So click the little update button at the top right. And then like when you create your next gear set, do the same thing. And then when you open your armory chest and you look at your gear that's in there, the pieces that have like a little like notepad looking thing at the bottom right corner of it. Those are the pieces that are saved to gear sets. So it's saying like, hey, this piece is saved to, like you're wearing this on one of your classes essentially. Yeah. Whereas the ones that don't have it, you're not. So then you can kind of just look through them and be like, I don't think I'm ever going to use this. Like, I had this when I was like level 5. I don't really need this anymore. Or, oh, maybe I do want to keep it because it looks cool. And I want to use it for glamour. Right? So then you could save it and go put it in your glamour chest later on.
There's a glamour chest?
So that's another another road to go down. So
right now for me, with gear wise, I should just hold on to higher level. Then it sounds like because I haven't been buying things or like getting gears that I think, oh, this look nice, I'm gonna keep it. So I could sell all I need.
I would just say, like, in general, anytime you get a new piece of gear, or you realize you get a new piece of gear, because I know sometimes you kind of don't even realize you get a piece of gear. But anytime you notice yourself getting a new piece of gear, hit the recommended gear thing, okay? And then equip what it says. And then if you go some time and you're like, man, I haven't gotten a piece of gear in a while, like, just click the recommended gear thing again.
I did that.
Well, no, because who knows? Like when I first started playing this game, like there's times where I was like, dude, I feel like I haven't got a piece of gear in forever. And it's like, I was getting these coffers that I just wasn't opening. Like, so check that as well. Those will go into your regular inventory, not your armory chest. And those will have gear as well. So
they got good gears on those for sure. But I did the same thing where I'm just like, I haven't got gear in a while and stuff, and I opened the recommendation one, and I'm like, wait, there's a bunch of things that I could actually equip right now.
That button is very powerful.
It is so nice,
especially for leveling. I use it literally all the way to level 80, like when I'm leveling my side classes and stuff. So
Okay, that's good to know. Cause I'm like, there's a part of my brain that goes, should I know this when I get higher level? You know. So I'm like, okay, now that I know you don't really need to use it, then that's good.
Yep.
And I think it's such a good way for me as someone who don't even play MMO so much,
Mm.
um, or don't like to read so much how to like maximize thing. That button helps so much,
It's
cause
yeah.
cause like the game like that MMO that I didn't play much. I think there's some like it doesn't have this recommended button, and I always try to like ask my friend, and my friend can really help me because they're pretty bad at it too, right? And they're like we're all lost. But with this, I could like I could not think about it, and I could still play at a good level or high level gaming. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
It makes it nice. It makes it convenient. It gives you like a pretty straightforward answer. And I mean, they can do that for they being Square Enix can do that for their players because they literally mean gear is gear in this game. Like you have a piece of gear, it's a higher item level than this other piece of gear. 99% of the time it's going to be better than the lower item level piece.
Yeah.
So it makes it very nice, very convenient.
You know what's the issue with them not having like bunny girls being able to equip some hats or stuff? Like what's up
I
with
think
that?
it's they don't know what to do with the ears.
You just poke a hole in it, right? Isn't it like
So
if you have a hat, you just poke a hole through?
I think that does sound like an easy solution on the surface, but if you really
Yes.
like think about like what that would look like because of where the ears are positioned on the head, you would have this like 8 shaped thing like cut out of the top of it, and it would just kind of look really weird. I think is what they're struggling with. They have a couple pieces like I know you can wear sunglasses and like there's like a little side hat that I think's on the cash shop that there's not many headpieces that Viera can wear. But they're aware of it. I just think they generally don't know how to handle it. So maybe next expansion they start coming out with more hair or not hairstyles, more hats. But that's another thing too is I don't know if you knew this, but there are other hairstyles in the game besides just the ones that you can pick from when you make your character.
What? Like
Yeah.
go unlock it?
So yeah, there are different hairstyles that you can unlock in the game by playing different parts of the game. Most of them are in-game related, but yeah, there's a bunch of them, and like Viera can't use. I'm pretty sure they can't use any of them.
Sad.
It's really sad because I was like, I made my alt. I like Fantasia that thing all the time. I don't know if you know what Fantasias are.
You said you were going ham on it. Well, you keep doing it so much that I start knowing about it.
Yeah, you can just start inferring. Yeah, but basically, yeah, you could just like swap your race or whatever whenever you want. So like on my alt, I Fantasia it all the time, and I Fantasia to a Viera because I saw a picture on Eorzea collection of this Viera with like this one hairstyle that I really like on Makote. I was like, oh, that's sick.
What's
like
Makote?
The cat girls.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
And then I like realized, oh shit, they can't use that hairstyle. I guess I'm stuck with and then I went back to playing Makote anyway, so
Sad
times.
So what's up with you not saying like bunny girls or cat girls? Is that a frown upon too?
No, it's just habit.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I don't want to say something bad.
No, you're fine. No, it's just habit. Like Makote, cat girl, Viera, bunny girl.
Is there something bad, like as in that for a beginner that they should not do, like rule of thumbs that I should learn about
Rule of thumbs.
for like
The
random
best
things?
rule of thumb that you could live by is don't be an asshole.
Oh, that's good.
That's
to know.
pretty nice
A
thing
lot
to
of
know.
people don't know that.
This game's pretty generally good about that. People are pretty chill. I mean, there's gonna be situations where you come across assholes. I'd say that's one of the biggest things you want to avoid doing. Something that is very common that I see a lot happening from like sprouts in general is
Don't pet Lala.
that no.
I know that's not that
You
actual.
can pet Lalafell.
I know I
dude.
could pet Lalafell. That's Bliss,
But
you're lying.
I was actually going. No, I'm not lying. I was actually going to the emote thing. Like, people will find out that there's like all these emotes in the game.
Yeah.
So they'll start like hitting all of them just to see what they all do, and they don't realize they're spamming the chat with like a wall of emotes, and people who are like just standing around you are like, "What is this guy doing? Like, why are you spamming all of this stuff?" So there's an option in the emote tab at the bottom that says like display log message or something. You could turn that off and it won't show your emote in the chat. So then you can just kind of hit whatever ones you want and play around with them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that dude, I didn't know that until you told me too, because I was spamming like crazy, and I'm like, maybe it's
I see
a blue,
it happen
it's a
all
blue
the time.
color,
Yep.
right? Yeah, it's a blue color, so maybe it's just not showing. But yeah, that's good tip too for sure. Any emotes I should not use? Is that a thing?
No, not really. I mean, they're there to like role play or mess with your friends, or you know, it's a kind of a common thing in this game for people to like react to a discussion that's happening in the chat with an emote. Like if you and a friend are like talking and you don't know what to say, or like you don't have anything to say, you could just like /not or /yes and it'll nod or like whatever, you know, like it's kind of just become like a way of like communication in the game as well. And some of the emotes, like you spam them and they look hilarious and that can be a fun time too. So
like sweeping someone.
Yeah, like, well, that one actually loops. The sweeping
loops?
emote, yeah, it loops, so you don't have to keep spamming it, thankfully.
What's the one that people twerk on other people? Is that a twerk one, or is that like?
I don't know what that one actually is. So I see people do it all the time. I think it's like grovel or
Bliss is going ham.
something. Yeah, I don't know, but
there was that day that Lalafell was just.
Oh, and Limsa, I remember that. That dude was going crazy.
Just twerking on you and who was it? I forgot.
Yeah, people in this game are wild, man.
Yeah, they're so nice. Like I have not ran into toxicity yet.
You will. I definitely don't want to make it like sunshine and rainbows, you know, like
yeah.
You will definitely run into that, but it's most of your experiences should be fairly positive. At least from my experience of playing the game.
Like it's because it's not like Overwatch where you log in, you get on a quick game and you're like, get off healers, or like jump to Mercy or jump to Anna. I'm like, I just want to play some dumb thing sometimes, you know.
People will definitely, and you'll see it as you get into like trials, or if you're doing your roulette, and you basically once you start getting into raids that aren't like hardcore, but they're raids that you can queue into through the roulette system. Once you start getting into that kind of stuff, there will be people who like, if you wipe, they're gonna either send you a paragraph of how to do the fight, or they're going to like go on some tangent, or not tangent, but some ramble about either how did we mess that up, or why did we mess that up? And that can kind of get annoying. But
Mhm.
most of the time people are just trying to help, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. Have you found a free company yet?
No, that's one thing I was gonna. I don't even know if I want to, but like,
I think you should.
well, how much help? Well, first of all, like, it's a free company, just like a guild, right? Is that what
It's
it
a
is?
guild, yeah. It's kind of like, just think of it as a group of people with similar interests, or even just like a community that wants to
Mm-hmm.
just chat and do things.
Is there like there's no limit cap for free company, right? Like, as in, if it's a guild, to me, I'm thinking like, okay, anyone could join that guild, and it's one of the top guild is called blah blah blah.
I don't know if there's like a player cap for free companies.
Mm-hmm.
But you can only be in one free company
Mm-hmm.
at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are you in one?
I'm not in one.
You tell me to get in one,
I
and you're
think you
not
should
in
get
one.
in one.
How
I used to
that
be
work?
in one.
Well,
I don't join free companies because I don't want to be like tied to a group. If that
hey,
makes sense. Because
I'm the same way.
but that's different, right? Like I was in a free
It
company when I
is.
first started playing the game.
Yeah.
And the whole reason I joined a free company was
Mm-hmm.
because my name at the time was Spicy Tyci, and the free company's little tag
Mm-hmm.
was spicy. And I was like, oh, that'd be fucking hilarious. I had like Spicy Tyci Spicy sorry,
if anything. Oh, okay.
in my name. So then I
Okay.
joined it, and I ended up like meeting a shit ton of people, and it actually helped. Like they actually helped me get to end game, and they like I went to my first like bar, like RP bar with them.
Mm-hmm.
They did like I went to multiple weddings through the free company,
What?
like people in the free company getting married and shit in the game. They did like giveaways of like store mounts and like all kinds of shit. And of course they have like a Discord, you can chat and stuff, but I think free companies are great.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like, this is me personally. Again, I think you should totally join one. I just don't like to personally join them because I've had the experience of like when I leave, then the friends that I made in that free company, we don't talk anymore, or like we're not friends anymore because of this weird like, oh well, you're not in the free company anymore, so we can't be friends anymore. You know, that like that's weird to me, and it's like I just don't even want to be put in that situation.
Yeah.
As well as like I just like my name just existing with
Tyci.
nothing around it. I think it's cool. But I think that you totally should join a free company. I think it would be very beneficial to you like as a new player. And it'll expose you to a lot of people that you can play with just in general.
That made me try. Yeah, I might try it then, because
if you join
it seems.
and you hate it, you can leave.
Does it cost anything?
No, it's free. You just leave.
Oh, you just so how do I find one? As in like there's a search bar or something for it?
I mean, there's literally one in the game chat 2 minutes ago that was recruiting. But like people will just like spam and shout chat and Limsa, like recruiting for their free company. You could probably like go around and like look at different people, and I think if you inspect them or you examine them, their free company should be kind of like towards the top, right under their class or somewhere in there, right above their character portrait. And you should be able to like click on that on their free company and kind of look and see what that free company is about, and then I think you can even apply to them through that tool. So, or you could just ask, like if you see someone with a free company and you're like, hey, I like the name of your free company, what do y'all do? And they're like, oh, we do treasure maps. It's like, I don't know what that is, but that sounds fun. Can I join? Sure.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's a really like good social aspect if you're bored,
So
you're
it's
looking
like-
for people to play with.
Yeah. So it expand the game even more.
Yeah,
Outside of the game itself.
exactly.
That sounds cool. I wish there's just a board that people could post, and they'll be like, okay, I'll scroll through, and then there would be like scavenger hunt more game or something. Bliss is saying like 512 people can be in the FC.
Oh, so
member
it's
limit.
capped at 512.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is a
I thought
lot.
it's like capped at like 20 or something.
It is a lot.
She's like our mod, dude. I asked question and we like stuck, and she like keep answering. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We have a mod. She's like, bro, okay. The Bliss project, rank 17. So they have a rank too then.
Yeah, so
That
different ranks, like your free company can unlock different things. In terms of, I think you could do like different missions as a guild or
Mhm.
free company, and then like, I don't know. That free companies are one area of the game that I really haven't explored.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
cool because like it's a huge portion of the game, and a lot
Yeah.
of people are very passionate about their free companies, and they're very passionate about like getting these people together to do things with and have events and stuff for.
yeah.
But none of it's required in the game. Like it's not like a mandatory thing you have to do. It's just another like side thing that you can kind of go down and explore and experience.
So is that how you find friends?
It's how I found most of my friends when I first started playing the game. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because
that's
when I first started playing,
Mhm.
it was me and one real life friend, and that was it. Like they introduced me to the game, and I knew no one. And
uh-huh.
and him and I, Griffin, we have different like backgrounds in MMOs. Like Griffin's always been like fairly casual, and he'll dabble in some raiding every now and then, and I like to raid like really hardcore. So while we had different interests, like him setting me up in a position to play the game and like kind of showing me where to go to find like the different avenues kind of helped me find like, oh, we can join a free company together, which we did. We could join a free company together, and we can go do like all these different events as a group and like screw around doing like random, I'm talking literally just random shit in the game,
Yeah.
and we have a blast. And so it's like a happy medium of like, I want to raid, you want to hang out,
Yeah.
like this is what we can do together, that kind of thing.
So like I know I do not have my face on, but I'm smiling the more you say. Cause
Well,
it
look,
sounds like
look at your little peepo happy. It's smiling all the time.
Cause that makes sense. Cause to me the reason why I was kind of opposed at first, right, is that I joined and I was lucky to be on your Discord group and be like, okay, I could go do something fun with them. But to me, I think if I come in as a guy who really have no friends outside of or inside the game, seems like a good deal to like go explore there.
You definitely have to take the initial leap. By, you know, I think the best way would be to join a free company. But you have to take that initial leap of actually joining. Now, you'll probably get like random invites to random free companies. Those are gonna be very hit or miss, most likely. But if you kind of like, you see someone advertising their free company in shout chat, or you keep seeing a lot of the same people with the same free company tag floating around. Like one of my friends runs the free company Boba, which you've probably seen Boba floating around on Goblin. Like
might not have looked
they,
too much.
yeah, they, you know, all these different free companies have different things that they do. And a big one like Bobo will have, they'll have events every week, or they'll set up different, I'm pretty sure they have like multiple different little like raid groups that like raid together on the side for fun, or they'll be like, hey, let's go try out this one fight that we've all never done before just for fun, you know? Or they'll just be like, hey, we're gonna go party at the Free Company house on Saturday at 9 p.m. Like, let's go hang out, So
that sounds like fun.
You should join one.
I'm gonna join a bunny girl group.
You could make one. You just have like the tag as bunny on the side.
Like all the cats want to join, and I just kick them. The requirement is just like you just gotta be bunny. That's good. Yeah, because that's one of the question I was actually gonna I have going through the game. I was just like, yeah, how do you find friends? So it seems like it's a good place to go find friends.
You find friends by just playing the game and putting yourself in situations where you can socialize. And that's one of the great things about video games in general is like, while social anxiety still exists, it's definitely easier on people who are more introverted, like myself, to go out of their way to like, you know what? I'll talk to that person and just see what's up. Like, I'll go like whatever, right?
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier to be able to have conversations with people and just go do things with random people. So.
This game's so wholesome, dude.
Yeah.
You can do anything. If you're introverted, you can do it.
It's a game.
What do you mean it's a game? It's life.
It's life. It's a life inside of your computer.
It is. Final Fantasy is love. Final Fantasy is life.
So are there any, I don't want to take too much of your time, but are there any like final questions that you might have? Any that like we didn't get to that you feel we should cover?
I think my final ones, which probably the biggest one, might be. It's like, what do you do?
What do you do?
What
do you do in the game?
As dumb as it sounds, right? It's like you come into a game for Overwatch, you go in and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go shoot someone down, right?
Sure.
This game, there's so many things that you could do. So like, what do you do? Because when I first played this, I'm like, okay, I could go fight people, but I could also be like a fisherman, or like I could go like cook. Do I want to do that? Like, what do you do?
It's hard. That's actually a really good question. Like, me personally, no, it's such a good question that it's like so hard to answer, because like an easy cop out to that question would be, what do you want to do? Right? And while it's a very like easy cop out, I still think it's a very valid question. But I also don't want to just leave you at that. Like, what do you want to do? Like, basically, this game offers a lot of avenues. Or if you want to do PvE content, which is player versus environment content, that has its own 20 things you could do, or 500 things you can do. You want to do PvP content, that's kind of a smaller sliver of this game.
Yeah.
You want to do role-playing content, that is humongous. There's so many things you can do with role-playing. Or if you just want to hang out with friends and make friends, all of those aspects of the game, PvE, PvP, and role-playing, you will make friends doing any of that stuff. So it's kind of like figuring out what medium you want to put yourself into, which I know can be hard because there's probably a lot of things that you don't even know exist in the game yet. Or they're like that are things to do in the game that you just don't even know exist, right?
Yeah.
But I would say, like, as a new player, what do you do is you play the story, and when you get bored of the story, you start just doing random shit that sounds fun. Because you'll find some random thing that you're like, oh, this is actually super fucking cool, and I want to learn more about this. Like, I got bored one day when I first came to this game. I have the experience and the privilege of playing an MMO for 15 years prior to coming to this game.
Yeah.
But, like, I got bored doing the story one day. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go pick up fishing. And just like
Random.
screw around. So like I got into this giant fucking pitfall that is fishing. And I'm learning like there's like specific bait you need. You have to go fishing at like specific times of day and like these specific locations to like catch these specific fish. And then it's like, well, why would I even worry about that? And it's like, oh, well, you could put those in like your fishing tanks in your house. And it's like, there's housing in this game. Like, so what my point is like, if you start doing random shit and you just start like kind of fiddling your way through blindly through these random side things, you'll start like asking questions about different things. And that's going to open a ton of different opportunities and different paths that you can go down through this game. And I promise you it never ends. Like, I still log into this game and it's like, what is that? Like, I didn't even know that existed. It is. There's so many things to do in this game. So many. I wish that I could like answer your question better. Like, what do you do? But like,
yeah.
I guess to be more generalized, what do like people usually do? Like, what do people usually do? They usually either hang out with their friends in the game. They do events with their like free company or their friend group, and events being like, you know, a party at someone's house, or they go do like a raid together, like an easy raid, not like a hard raid or anything. Like they'll go do content together, like a dungeon or whatever, or they'll do their roulettes together. Or they'll just AFK in the main city, or
just go clubbing together.
Or the higher end players will like get in Discord and they'll talk about strategy stuff, and then they'll go raid for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and repeat that every day. So like there's a bunch of different aspects you can go down. It's just a matter of exposing yourself to all the random things this game has and really kind of just seeing what's out there, because I can spit off a bunch of different things and tell you what they all are, but I'm gonna miss a lot of things that you might have also found interesting. And true. You won't even find out about those until you just dive in. So just play the game. And I think, nodding my head to you again, I think joining a free company would be a really good way for you to expose yourself to the different aspects of the game.
I'll try. Maybe this long holiday break, I'll go find one. Or I'll create a bunny girls.
Creating one's gonna be a bit more difficult, but
I bet. Do you have to log in every day for this game?
You don't have to log in at all unless you own a house.
Okay.
That is the only time you need to log into this game. So house aside, which I'll explain that in a second, but house out of the equation, there's no reason that you need to log into this game. I'm pretty sure that Yoshi P, the director, had even said in an interview that like this game is built and designed to where you can take breaks when you want, or you start feeling tired of the game, or you want to go do other things. And I think that's what's beautiful about this game. Like, I don't have to feel pressured to play this game. I don't have to feel like I have to log in every day. When you start feeling burnt out on the game, like, you can take a break. And for the WoW players out there, that is a fucking culture shock. But for someone who has an FPS background like yourself, like, that's probably relieving, because the cool thing about playing an FPS game is, like, I've got 30 minutes, I'll do like 2 quick play matches.
You're stuck for 5 hours.
Yeah, like, whatever. So yeah,
because like you don't lose muscle memory and shit, and you can still come in and not sweat and just enjoy kill bosses.
Yeah. Now at the higher end, like, obviously the more serious you start getting about the game, the more serious you start getting about logging in to do like your daily things that you quote unquote have to do, you know.
Yeah,
you only have to do them because you're putting yourself in a position to where you have to do them. Yeah, I
just saw someone say a rabbit hole 18 plus. Is that the free company?
Look, it says
join?
Best Bunnies. It's all you, dude.
I don't think I want that type of bunnies. Oh well. But so that's all I have so far. I think I kind of skipped the character creation and stuff that I had, but I after I play it, I don't think I really have that much
yeah. And I think a lot of the general questions, this is such a shitty thing to say, because it should be more explicit in the game in some situations, but a lot of the questions that, like, or generic questions that people have, or that we didn't really go over, like, in this video, like, most of it can be found on Google. And I really hate saying that, because I don't want people to be like, oh, just Google it, to literally everything under the sun. But like, most of the questions can be found online, or if they're more technical or like class related, the Balance Discord, which is like the Final Fantasy 14 job Discord, is very informative, and most of the people in there do a really good job of explaining the classes and giving you a really good idea of how to play them. But yeah, if you don't have any questions, I can see if anyone in the chat has any questions for you or for us or whatever, and if not, we can call it a night and start cheering Happy Friday, because we're almost there, man.
Nightclub time, baby. I think that's gonna be.
Let's see. Jorl said, yeah, this question is for Tyci. How do I do liquid hell?
I have no clue what that is, too, so. Good, it's just
so Jorl is in my UCOB static, and liquid hell is a mechanic that happens, and he really struggles with it. So and our tank said, thank God you asked. So yeah,
just don't get liquid hell, man.
I'd say watch a video.
Just Google, man.
Just Google it, yeah.
That's so helpful.
But yeah.
But this has been really nice. Like,
no, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It's so fun, man. Like, moving from Overwatch and here, and I get to hang out with you, and I get to hang out with random people. We go to like the club and stuff.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's one of the cool things about an MMO in general, is just like having you get exposed to so many different people with so many different backgrounds and so many
Mm-hmm.
different personalities. Like that's what an MMO is about. And like
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy really, in my opinion, encapsulates what an MMO should be, where it has that community aspect as well as
Yeah.
offering other things to do that aren't like RP related or like just, you know, AFKing in major city. So,
Yeah. Like
which we trust me, I AFK in Limsa like a motherfucker. Okay. But there are plenty of things for me to do. I'm
mm-hmm.
definitely not out of things to do. It's just like I kind of like chilling and talking to random people that come up and say hi and stuff.
That's nice. You can't find that in other games for sure. I wish I would have joined earlier. Like you, cause you tried to get
You're
me in like a year ago, right?
you're
And I'm like,
joining at a good time.
nah.
You're
I
joining
feel
at a
like
good time because we're at the end of an expansion. Honestly, I mean anytime's really a good time to join, but like the end of an expansion is a really good time to join an
mhm.
MMO. So, well, if that's everything, less stuff, Rang, anything else?
That's it.
We
I
good?
really enjoy this game.
Yeah.
I never thought I would get into MMO. Like I thought it's just grinding, but playing it has been so much fun.
That's so awesome. I'm
Yeah,
really glad you're having a good time. I'm glad
I
that
am.
I'm also glad that you're not like just burning yourself out of it either too. Like I
I
noticed that you
kind of
kind of
did.
just
So
you kind of just like log in and you'll play for a little bit and you'll get
yeah,
off
yeah,
or
yeah,
then like I'll see you like on the weekend just kind of like you're on like all day, which is I don't consider burning out, you know?
yeah.
Like
Well, yeah.
so
Cause I was tired of Bard. That's what I meant more. Like
I
burnout.
see. Yeah.
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 But after you show me that video of that game dev guy that was just like, yeah, you go do whatever you want, man.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna go be a paladin then, cause they got cool armors.
Dude,
So that
just,
yeah,
just play the game. You play it how you want, dude. Like just play the game. You'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time.
one of these days I'm gonna just be like either a dancer or musician in there, and so then people could donate money to me, so I can make you. That's all I want to do.
I'm not gonna enable it, but
I don't even know what Geos does anymore when you get so much of it.
buy a house. Oh, I didn't even touch on that. Yeah, so if you have a house
Mm-hmm.
and you don't go inside of the house for I think 30 days,
Okay.
you lose it. And houses in this game are like really hard to come by and they're limited. There's not like an infinite amount of them.
Is it like trying to find graphics card?
Yeah. Honestly, hey, that's a good analogy. You joke, but that's a good analogy.
That is so
So,
sad, and then that's super depressing. Then
yeah.
was it? Bliss was asking or saying like there's a novice network that I could join. That'd be cool too.
Yeah, I'm actually not
It's
sure
pretty
how you
shiny.
get into the novice network. I think you may have to be invited.
That's what Bliss was
And I
saying.
think you have to be a sprout. But
Easy.
the novice network's a great tool as well, and it's a very, very good thing to be a part of if you're new. So
She invited me.
there you go.
Join. They said it's chitty chatty. Chit chatty. I don't know what it does.
But all right, we'll end it there. I appreciate you coming on and talking.
Thank you. Thank you
We
for
could,
taking your time. Help me out
yeah,
with my
dude.
hotbar too, mainly.
If you have any questions, you know where to find me.
Yeah,
And if you want to do this
absolutely.
again sometime in the future, if you start compiling some document of questions again, let me know. We can do this
Yeah.
again and we can talk through, and it could be a cool little way of making a little series of how you're progressing through the game as a noob or something. I don't know, but
watch me just be like, I'm just at the nightclub, Tyci. That's all I do now.
4 months later, you're like a bartender at an RP club. Yeah. Oh
Because
man.
I would never see myself going to RP, but never know.
Hey.
Never know.
Don't knock it till you try it is all I'm gonna say. All right, man. I'll let you go. Thank you for everyone that came and hung out. Sorry we didn't really pay attention to the chat too much. I just wanted to kind of do more of a Q&A type of thing and just really make this into a video. Plan on uploading these to YouTube on my YouTube channel. So for anyone that did miss it or can't watch the VOD, they can have it. And I guess to elaborate more on the XIV question name or 14 question name, which I'm still not super settled on, but kind of wanted it to be more of a more basic, simple name for people to be able to search for when they have questions about the game, and they might be able to be answered in these type of videos. So I do plan on doing these again in the future. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Big fun.
It's been a good time hanging out with you and shooting the shit. So in the future, I do want to do more of these. But I don't think that they're all going to be focused specifically on Sprout stuff. So I'll probably segment them into different things of like, if I have Rang on again or another new player on again, that will fall under like the Sprout Edition thing. Or if I have like a pro player on or a very like high-end player on, that'll get segmented into its own thing as well. So these are fun. I enjoy doing them. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all next time.
See ya.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.